One mom I worked with was having trouble with her 3-week-old being a little fussy in the evenings. So we created a simple evening pattern that included a warm bath. It was followed by gentle massage with soft music. Feeding was happening in a rocking chair, and then only the red lights were on, and we were holding the baby upright and finally putting them down to sleep. Right? So within just a few days, her baby started to settle more easily during this tough time. Some parents worry, will routines make my baby inflexible? When routines are right for your baby's age and they are used for your baby based on their cues and changing needs, it's going to work in their favor. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ankita and I'm really happy that you're here today. If you're new, I wanted to share a little bit about myself. I blend Montessori ideas, neuroscience, music, and positive parenting to help you follow your amazing child from day one to forever. Today, we are answering a question many new parents ask me. Does my newborn need a routine? Do they need order, or is it just for older babies? Let me tell you, it's a great question because especially those early weeks, they just feel like beautiful chaos. As someone who follows Montessori principles, I know that order and routine are key parts of this approach. But many do wonder, obviously, if these ideas also are applicable to tiny babies. The simple answer is yes, even tiny babies benefit from having some predictable patterns in their day. But this obviously looks very different from the set of schedules you might create for a toddler. Let's talk about why these patterns matter for your baby and how you can create them in a way that works for your family. First, let's talk about what your newborn is experiencing. They've just left the womb. It was a place with regular patterns. It had constant heartbeat. It had movement. It had your voice. And now this baby is in a whole new world. Their bodies are still learning how to handle the new sensations. And in those early days, everything is brand new to your baby. Imagine being in a country where you don't know the language, the customs. You don't know when you're going to get your next meal. And that is exactly how a newborn feels, completely unpredictable. Some gentle, regular patterns help them start to make sense of this new world. There's a lot of research out there that shows that even young babies begin to notice patterns. When certain things happen in a similar order day after day, it really helps them understand the beginning, the end, what's coming next. This feeling of I know what's happening really does keep the baby safe. Think about yourself. When you know roughly what to expect from your day, you're obviously more relaxed, right? The same is true for babies. When there is a basic flow to the day, their bodies can begin to follow natural patterns, which will definitely help with sleep and feeding. When I talk about routine for a newborn, I'm not talking about a strict schedule with exact timelines because that would be absolutely unrealistic and stressful. What I mean is more like a gentle flow to your days. You might do things in a certain order. For example, change the diaper, feed the baby, have some quiet time, some awake time, and then sleep time. This regular pattern helps your child understand that when I feel hungry, mom or dad will take care of me in this order. Or think about a simple bedtime pattern, even for a tiny baby. Maybe it's a warm bath, which is, just wiping if it's a very new baby, followed by feeding in dim light, some soft singing, and then being placed in their sleeping space. Over time, these steps start signaling to your child that sleep time is coming. The key word here is consistency. It's not about the clock, not about the time it's going to happen. It's about doing things in a similar order. When things happen in a predictable way, it creates safety for your baby. One mom I worked with was having trouble with her 3-week-old being a little fussy in the evenings. So we created a simple evening pattern that included a warm bath. It was followed by gentle massage with soft music. Feeding was happening in a rocking chair, and then only the red lights were on, and we were holding the baby upright and finally putting them down to sleep. Right? So within just a few days, her baby started to settle more easily during this tough time. Another part of order for newborns is really setting up a calm space, which is a core Montessori idea, even for the youngest babies. Maria Montessori observed that children are deeply impacted by the environment from birth, Their world is very much about what they can see, hear, and feel at this stage. A space that is peaceful without too many visual distractions. It really helps their body and their mind because that's constantly developing. Having your diaper supplies in the same place, feeding in similar comfortable spots, and using consistent sleeping places all help create the sense of order. This is the Montessori principle of prepared environment, which can be adapted definitely for a newborn. This really does not mean your home needs to look perfect. It's really about having things organized in a way that helps you take care of your baby easily. When you're not hunting for vibes at 3 a.m., both you and your baby will benefit from it. And something wonderful happens when we create these gentle patterns. We start to notice our child's natural rhythms. Maybe you see that your child is actually more alert in the mornings, or you might notice that your child is taking longer naps after the midday feed or bath. And these observations will help you work with your baby's unique style rather than against it. All babies are different. Some newborns naturally want more predictability than others. You might have a baby who seems to do better with very consistent routines from early on, or you might have a more go with the flow kind of a baby, right? So watch your unique child closely to see what works for them. Another good thing about gentle routines is that they help you, the parent, feel more sure of yourself. When you have some loose structure to your day, it really becomes easy to notice patterns in your child's behavior. It helps you understand their needs better. Remember, how you feel affects your baby. When you feel calmer because of the predictability, your calm is passed down to your baby through your touch, through your voice, through your hugs and heartbeat when you hold them close, right? It's also important to know that routines are not for causing stress. If trying to keep a certain sense of order is driving you nuts or anxious, that's kind of missing the whole point, right? The goal is to create a flow that works for your family, not to follow someone else's perfect schedule. This is important if your baby was born early, especially, or has any health needs. In these cases, work closely with your doctors to create appropriate patterns to support your child's specific situation. Now, what does research tell us about routine and newborn growth? There are a lot of studies out there that show that predictable care is linked to better sleep, less crying, better weight gain in young babies. The predictability of knowing their needs will be met helps babies save their energy for growing and developing and not crying. There's also an interesting research on how early routines really help set the stage for your baby's day and night pattern. While newborns don't come with their body clocks fully working, regular exposure to natural light during the day and darkness at night will really help their bodies begin to tell the difference between day and night. Simple practices like letting your baby see natural light during morning feedings and during the afternoons to get both frequencies is going to be really, really helpful. Make sure the night times are quieter, darker to support your child's development. And by around 4 months, these efforts will help your baby sleep more at night. Here are some simple ways to create newborn patterns. First, create a similar wake up and kind of bedtime steps. Even if the times are changing, the order of activities can remain the same. Perhaps morning always includes opening curtains, diaper change, and a feed. And bedtime might include dimming the lights, a lullaby, and feeding, right? For sleep, watch for your baby's tired signs, yawning, eye rubbing, looking away, and trying to offer a sleep opportunity when you notice these signs. Over time, you might notice that these tends to appear after similar periods or wake times. You'll kind of find out a pattern. Try to make day and night look completely different. During daytime feeds, chat with your babies, make eye contact, let them hear all the sounds around. And nighttime feeds, no interactions or minimal, lights are low, voices are hushed. Finally, develop simple before sleep steps, even for daytime naps, right? So it could be perhaps a diaper change. If you're swaddling, then swaddle, and a brief song. Signals to really help your baby understand that it's time to sleep, it's transition. Montessori emphasized the importance of these transition moments to help children move peacefully from one activity to another seamlessly. This applies even to newborns when you're moving them from sleep time to awake time, or vice versa. Flexibility is really important with small babies. Some days will be super smooth and flowy, and some days will be completely off, and that's okay. Growth spurts and developmental milestone and jumps are also going to cause a little havoc, and that's expected. When these disruptions happen, the good thing about having a basic routine is that you already have a familiar pattern to return to once things settle down. It becomes something stable to come back to rather than strict rules. Some parents worry, will routines make my baby inflexible? When routines are right for your baby's age and they are used for your baby based on their cues and changing needs, it's going to work in their favor. Babies who have their basic needs met in a very predictable way often develop an innate sense of safety that allows them to be more adaptable as they grow. The goal isn't to create a baby who can only sleep in one specific place or someone who gets upset when feeding is 15 minutes late. No. Rather, it's about creating enough predictability that your baby builds trust in the world and in your care. As your newborn grows into a more alert and engaged baby over those first 3 months, you'll likely find that your routines naturally change. What worked during the newborn phase will now need alteration, will now need adjustment as your baby develops. Now, this is completely normal. It shows that you're staying in tune to your child's changing needs. Before we finish, I want to encourage you. These early weeks with a newborn can be magical and overwhelming. Having some loose structure can be helpful, but please be gentle with yourself as you figure out what's really working, and while you recover and do what works for your unique baby and family. The most important routine your baby needs is you responding to them. When you consistently notice and meet their needs for comfort, food, clean diapers, connection, you're creating the foundation for security that will support them throughout their life. This responsive care is what Montessori called following the child. You're observing your child carefully, you're responding to their needs, you're not imposing any tight schedule on them. You are just doing what's adapted for the newborn stage. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos on supporting your child's growth right from birth. I'd love to hear in the comments about any gentle routines that you found to be particularly helpful. It could also help another parent. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, keep following your amazing child's lead, even when they're just a few days old. And I will see you in our next video.